What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. Guys, a lot has been said in the last 2 to 3 months about dating. And you guys know, hey, this is Black YouTube, kind of the Black manosphere community over here. So interracial dating is always going to be the talk of the town. I address it quite regularly because it's a hot topic and many Black men enjoy me talking about it. So we've talked about people like Shannon Sharp, who said, you know what, why stay in a toxic relationship in your own race when you can go be happy someplace else? I can see that point. We've talked about Dr. Umar Johnson, who's on the opposite end of the spectrum, saying, hey, listen, why are you over here worshiping these other groups of people when you can be with your people and get some more respect and things like that? I can also see that point too. But you know what? I've noticed that we've seen a trend that's been happening in the Black world the last 30 years with Black men. And that is, Black men start out dealing with Black women, end up with non-Black women. We can even talk about Frederick Douglass. I mean, as great as a historian he was, and you know, abolitionist into the movement, he was married to Black women. And I believe towards the end of his life, or one of the marriages he had, he was with a white woman. Okay. We've seen it also with certain entertainers. Shannon Sharp has a Black daughter and has dated white women primarily ever since. So is Jamie Foxx. We've seen it in situations like with Robert Smith. His first wife was, I believe, Jamaican American. She was also Black. The billionaire Robert Smith has a white wife now. But Chris Rock is another example. Chris Rock was married to a Black woman before. I don't know if he's married to anybody now, and I don't believe so. But if we can look at this, he has appeared at the St. Louis Cardinals game with Lake Bell. Now, Lake Bell is also in the industry, okay? And she's very, very, very white. And after the divorce from Malek Compton, divorced in 2016, who do we see Chris Rock hanging out with today? Lake Bell. Now, if you look at her, I mean, she's a screenwriter, she's an actor, actress, director, all that. She's 43. She was recently married to Scott Campbell. Okay, and so it makes sense that they're probably seeing each other. But the question is, why? Why? Why are we seeing these men who were married to Black women going in the opposite direction? Well, let's look at Will Smith. Will Smith is married to Jada Pinkett. Guys, and we all know how that's went for him. Should Black men be in these sorts of relationships just because they're Black? And I'm just want to ask you, because I'm in the pro-Black community, the Pan-African community, and trust me, my friends that think like me or think like Dr. Umar, because we think really almost alike. We sit there, we try to talk about this all, you know, offline. What can our brothers receive from our women, or women in our diaspora, that they're getting from other people? And it comes back to what I see is this. The Black community would rather a Black man, I mean, as a whole, not as everybody thinks is the way, but they would rather you be in the Black community in a relationship with Jada Pinkett, like Will Smith is, versus in a relationship outside the Black community in a respectful, healthy relationship with a woman who will then at some point give you your respect as a man, no matter what she does. That woman is going to come to you. She's going to basically be a little bit more submissive to you and respect you. We would rather see the Black man in a relationship like Jada Pinkett. And I don't know what happened with Chris Rock's relationship, but it ended. And we see him now with this white lady. Now let's kind of go back to Chris Rock and his ability to be able to garner attention from anybody in Hollywood. He hosts the Oscars, for crying out loud. All right. So he's damn sure in demand. He can still sell out comedy shows, Netflix, you name it. Does he have access to black women? Sure. The question is this: does he have more options than black women? That's where people don't want to talk about. You see, when these black men get more access to other people than just black people, and that might have been the case when Chris Rock first got married. In the 90s, it was a different mentality than it is today. But you know what happens, guys, and I hate to say it. The market for dating, competing for black men, as it gets more international, many women in our community are just not ready for the competition. First of all, how many of them are around the guys who are in the top 5%? I'm talking about guys who can just, let's go to the Maldives. Let's go to Luxembourg. Let's go to Cape Town for the weekend. Let's go to Dubai. Let's go on the yacht. Because we're in the industry and making money together. Most women can't even access the kind of guys that are like that. Most women can access fairly average guys who might work with them or that live in their city. Most successful guys are not even thinking about most women in our community. Now, I mean, in that way, I'm talking about as far as dating. Because they have so many different ladies who are showing them a different experience, or should I say, the potential of a different experience. And there's a guy that's on my page. I forgot the guy's name. He's a photographer, brother, but he's been married to his woman for a long time. And his son is dating a Japanese lady. I believe the brother's name is Scott. I saw him comment one day. He said, listen, I've been married to my black wife for a long time. No real problems in the relationship, but I see the sort of respect that my son is getting from his Japanese girlfriend. And then I look at my wife and I say, my son gets more respect from his girlfriend that he is not married to, that I'm getting than I'm getting from my wife, who I do everything for. So then the question comes and is, hey, what would it be like if I were to leave her and go to something else? It goes against some people's principles, especially somebody like me, you know, hanging out in the pro-black community. I've become even more associated with them in the last 3 to 4 years. But I can't deny that I've seen people here in Europe that get more from their girlfriends than I've seen a lot of guys in the black community get from theirs. And they're giving them less. I see it. And is it the answer for Chris Rock? Me, I'm staying faithful to the society that we come from. But every guy doesn't think like me. And there are problems that men in the Pan-African community, we don't talk about it maybe as publicly as some other people do. But we see why. We see that we just don't have a lot to tell guys to stick around. We can't promise them that the women in our community are going to appreciate whatever they do. We cannot promise that. And we're losing the war on black love. And guys like Chris Rock, who have been married to black women, have said goodbye and opened up new doors that they probably would have never opened before. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I already appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.